Well, it might help if I turn the camera around the right way. Hey, happy Sunday. It is 8:30. And it is a special time for Self-Care Sunday. Because I just wrapped up Sacred Space, Conversations Your Mama Didn't Have. So I'm super excited and just so full and overjoyed for everything that took place in that summit this week. If you missed it, ladies, make sure you sign up next time because it was phenomenal. And the folks who did attend got the replays and all that good stuff. So hopefully they can go back and grab them nuggets if they need to. They can replay and review and all the good stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. So, as always, don't forget to leave me a message. Let me know that you are here and watching. Participate, jump in the conversation so that your name can go into our prize pack drawing for this month. I think I posted it at the beginning of the month. What the prize is for this month is a beautiful shower curtain from Pardon My Fro in honor of Women's History Month. It's a lady with a big afro, super cute. So I'll be giving that away at the end of the month. Other announcements, if you're not subscribed to my website, make sure you do so you can keep up with everything that's going on. Lord, my eyes look super little in these glasses. They extra thick. Make my eyes look super tiny. But make sure that you're subscribed to my website so you can stay abreast of everything that's happening and what's going on. So I will go ahead and give y'all another announcement. I don't have all the details yet, but Louisville and surrounding areas, get ready because the first stop of the mental health tour is coming to your city on May 30th. We will be there with breakout sessions with information on what is mental health, how to get help. We're going to have some clinicians on site if you need help connecting. Hey, Angela. Hey, Daniela. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. And it's a lot of good things coming up. So stay connected to make sure you know what's happening because the folks over there get the info first. But again, I haven't shared all the details of that because we're still building and planning. I do have the date. I don't have the address and all of that good stuff yet. I know the location. I just don't know the address. But we'll be sharing flyers and all the good stuff soon. But I just want you to go ahead and mark the calendar and plan to join us in Louisville. Yeah. So other announcements, I will be adding dates for next quarter. If you missed the ministry leaders training, preventing burnout behind the sacred desk, I'm going to offer that quarterly. So that will be coming up again. I haven't planned the date yet, but it will be coming up again each quarter. So if you missed it in person or virtual last time, you do have another opportunity to have that training. It's going to be coming up soon. I'll announce the date soon. Once I sit down and figure out when, because I got some other things on the calendar, but that workshop was phenomenal too. I've got really good feedback from the leaders. I'm going to be following up with them this week to see how they've implemented the things that they've learned in the workshop and if they've created their rhythms for rest. I'm extremely blessed and fortunate to get to do this work and the things that I love to do. It never feels like work because it's what I'm passionate about. It's what I'm gifted and anointed to do. So for me, it's enjoyment. You know, work and labor goes into it on the backside, planning and putting things together. But when I get to step into it and do it, is phenomenal for me. I told the ladies in the workshop, I said, you know, I might cry a little bit later when I'm by myself just because I'm grateful and because I don't take for granted that I have the opportunities to do these things. So, yeah. Anywho, I don't think I have any other urgent announcements right now. Oh, I do. Don't forget, the retreat is happening. That's what's coming up next. May 14th through 18th. I do have some spots left. If you want to come join us, that's going to be a phenomenal weekend of self-discovery. This year's theme is discovering me, or discovering you. So we're going to have amazing food and fellowship, a great time to relax, to refresh yourself, but also for you to be poured into, to do some therapeutic work, to really examine, are you living out the best version of you, or who and what life has caused you to become? One of my colleagues is coming to do a phenomenal workshop about trauma and resiliency. We're going to do some artistic expression, all kinds of good things. We have amazing food from Classy Claus Catering. She's coming back to bless us again this year. We're going to have games, a pizza party. Like, it's going to be great. So come join us. I have, I think, 5 spots left. So if you are interested, you can send me a message and I will tell you how to take care of that and get you all the info. I didn't do a big advertisement for that this year because I did things a little bit different, and because a lot of the spots went before I even formally advertised publicly. So now I just have these last few spots, and I want to give people the opportunity to grab them if you want to come join us. It's a great Mother's Day gift to yourself if you're a mom. And the spots that I have left are $275. So if you want to come, you still have time to make payments on that. The final payment is not due until April 15th, so that's coming up. But you know, if you want to come, if you want to join us, like I said, reach out to me and we can have a conversation about your payment arrangements and all those good things, so that you can come. And you know, we may have a little scholarship money available because of the ladies that came to Sacred Space. We can help out a little bit financially for someone who may be in need. That was part of the purpose of that event, and the tickets that were sold was to help somebody be able to come to the retreat who really needs it and may not be able to afford it. So if you fall into that category, shoot me a message, or if you know someone who does, who really needs this chance to get away, to refresh, to be poured into, shoot me a message and let's chat, okay? But yeah, I think that's the only other announcement right now. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Horrible. Next Saturday, the 28th, I will be on live with Elder Regina Nunnally for Holiday Hugs. I remembered this time. So I'll be live over on her page at, so let me tell you what time. I believe it is 7 p.m. talking about caregiver burnout. So if you are in the role of a caregiver and you're feeling tired, exhausted, burnt out, come join us over there. I'm going to have some great tips for you on how to prevent burnout, what to do if you're already burnt out, all those good things. So I will be there speaking with her and her audience and followers about caregiver burnout. I would love to have you come over and watch and support not just me, but her as well, because she's doing some great things in ministry and in the community. Also, since we're talking about that, if you have a podcast, a show, a group, or whatever, and you need somebody to come and talk about mental health, about spiritual things, about whatever, I got a whole list of things that I can talk about and do education and training and advocacy for. So I'm available. I like to travel. I love to come and talk to folks and do all the things. So if any of that is in your wheelhouse, or even if you're questioning like, hey, I need somebody to talk about this, is that something you do? You can send me a message. And if it is, I will gladly come. And if it's not, I probably know somebody who can and or will. So, being connected gives you access to people, places, and things that you need. People are our greatest resource. So, speaking of that, let's move on to tonight's topic, because I don't want to keep y'all long, because it's been a long day, week, all of that, and I'm ready to lay down. But I wanted to, since I wasn't feeling well last week, I wasn't planning on doing Self-Care Sundays tonight, but I didn't want to go 2 weeks without having Self-Care Sunday. So I'm here, and I'm going to keep it short and brief. But I did want to honor my commitment to doing Self-Care Sunday and showing up for you guys. So tonight I wanted to talk to you about dreaming big. And I know at the top of this video you heard me talk about sacred space, conversations your mama didn't have. And for those of you who know me, y'all know I like to do stuff. And I tell people all the time, I just be out here doing stuff. Like, I really do. God just gives me all these crazy ideas and big dreams and things to do. And he puts these things on my mind and in my heart, and I just do them. Sometimes it's easy for me to see how it's going to come together, and I have the resources and the things and the whatever. And other times I have no clue. And I just throw it out there, and I'll be like, hey, is anybody willing to help with whatever? Anybody interested in doing this? And people show up. And so I truly don't take that for granted at all. It is a blessing, an honor, and a privilege. Love you too. That people show up, that people believe in the things that I'm doing and want to get on board and want to help. Because sometimes I don't even realize the impact that these things are going to make or have, or who they're going to reach, or what the outcome will be. But I'm a willing vessel. If he sends me, I'm going to go. If he gives me the opportunity and the means to do it, I'm going to do it. Sometimes afraid, sometimes not. I do it anyway. I look at these past few years at all the things that I've done, that I've just randomly said I want to do, or that I want to do more of, and how the opportunities have come. I think partially because when I gave God my yes, I meant that. When I told him I'll go wherever you send me, here I am 10 years later. But also because I'm always willing to take a leap of faith. When the dream is way bigger than me and my means and my individual power and abilities and resources, I still don't say no. I still go for it. Even if I don't have all the instructions or all the parts or pieces, I'll jump out there and do it. Like I said, I just be out here doing stuff. When I open my business, I don't have a business degree. I don't have business ownership experience and none of that. I heard what God told me to do, and I did that. I made my exit plan, and I executed and listened to his voice and stepped out in faith, and again asked people to help me. And I said, hey, I'm starting this business. I want to help families and communities, and I can't do it on my own. If you would, if you could, if you feel led, can you please purchase an item from my wish list? Can you come out and celebrate with me for my grand opening? And people showed up, and people donated and gave and sent cash apps and checks in the mail and purchased items on my wish list and showed up for my grand opening and sent me referrals and bought things for my office. When I said, okay, the Lord put this idea in my heart to do this workshop, I shared it, I put it out there, and friends were like, oh, I invited such and such people. I was trying to do it in person. Oh, I invited people from everywhere. So then I had to add a virtual date, and people showed up for both. All the seats were full in the in-person, and I had just as many people in the virtual session. And even in the midst of that, I had feedback that said, hey, we need this in every church. I want my church's whole leadership team to have this. I want to take this. I want to help you spread this. I want to be your employee and help you teach this everywhere. Like, it's amazing how other people will jump on board and support you when you're willing to take a leap of faith. And it also encourages others to step out in faith and go after the things that they may be dreaming of doing or wanting to do, but haven't been bold enough to take that leap. So just know that by you being willing to jump out there and do stuff, just do stuff like me, somebody else is looking at you and watching and is being inspired to go after their dream, to go after their goal, to dream a little bigger, to think beyond themselves and their individual reach. Because when you partner up with folks, you can reach even more people. You can have an even greater impact and wider span of reach. So I'm grateful for each and every person that I'm connected to, for all of you who show up to support me and to encourage me and to say, hey, what you did was awesome. It really helped me. It blessed me. It was meaningful, whatever. You know, I don't take those things lightly at all. Because I promise you, I'm going to go in my room and cry a little bit later because I'm so grateful. And as my boo says, I'm a crybaby. Don't tell him I said that. Don't let him know. You know, but it's happy tears. It's tears of gratitude and gratefulness because I'm trusted to be able to do these things. Because God trusts me with the vision, but also because people trust me to speak into them, to pour into them, to give the things that he gives me back. So if you've been sitting on a dream, on a vision, on something, and you've been afraid to step out and do it, if you've been afraid to take that leap, jump. Grab somebody else's hand and be like, hey, come jump with me. If you're afraid to do it by yourself, maybe your first jump isn't solo. I didn't have the luxury. I was telling the people yesterday in our intercessors meeting, I didn't have the luxury of easing into things when it came to ministry and leadership. I got kicked out the nest. And I appreciate Pastor Weathers for kicking me out the nest so many times. I appreciate my art instructors for kicking me out the nest and making me go first. I appreciate my mama for kicking me out the nest and telling me, get up and try it again. You can do it, you know, and not babying me or downplaying the big things that I wanted to do, for challenging me to dream big, to think big. Pastor Weathers would give me all kind of crazy stuff to build. And I was standing there like, okay. I'd be looking, and he laughed because when he told his apostle about about me and what I was doing in the church, well, he actually he told me to tell the apostle what I was doing in the church. And I was like, well, I do this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, really? And he kind of looked at him and he was like, yeah. He said, I'll ask her to build all kind of crazy stuff. And he said, she never tells me no. He said, she'll look at me and he said, she'll stand there for a minute and I see the wheels turning and she'll say, okay, what's my budget? And that's what I did, because I was there to serve and I was trusted with the position. I was trusted with leadership. I was trusted with somebody else's vision. And anytime someone else trusts you to help bring their vision to fruition, know that you can bring your own. Know that you can manifest the things that God puts in your heart to do, the ideas that he gives you, no matter how big or small. But if you can see yourself doing it, if you believe that you can, then you will. I reflected on things that I spoke that I wanted to do, and I've been able to do every one of them, business-wise, ministry-wise, and as I spoke it out, but also put in the work behind the scenes so that when the opportunities came, I was ready. You know, I said I wanted to go back into the schools and do things and help the kids. I went I volunteered for the Great American Teach-In. I think it was it was before the holidays, because the teachers whose class I went to was like, I want you to come back and talk to all my classes. These babies need help with X, Y, and Z. And I was like, I'll come back anytime. And I have been praying for the opportunity to get back into the school, not to do individual therapy, but to help meet the overall needs of the professors, of the teachers, of the staff who may not be equipped to help, but also to help the kiddos on a large scale with regulating emotions, identifying emotions, those kinds of things. And I have a vision for a whole program to do that. But it may take me a little while to get that whole program birthed, but this is a step towards that. I have a foot in the door now. I have an invitation to come, so I can build on that and get it to where I want it to be, to the full vision that God gave me for helping in the schools and having the opportunity to fund quiet corners or sensory boxes and things like that for these classrooms. But dream big. Don't play yourself small. Don't downplay the things that God has put in your heart and your mind to do, because it's not little. Even if you think it's little, think about how a small pebble ripples when you toss it in a pond, how big that ripple becomes. Even if you think what you're doing is small, know that the impact is huge. Know that the reach is much bigger than just you and who you think is going to reach. Even with this, sometimes when I would go home, I would run into people, friends of my mom or different people that I had no clue were watching Self-Care Sundays, that I didn't even knew I had a page. And they'd be like, oh, I seen such and such, and when you was on Self-Care Sunday, my granddaddy is on Facebook and watches my Self-Care Sundays. He'll call me, I've been watching you. I've been keeping up. My uncles who are not really tech savvy watch. I have so many people who would just randomly be like, oh, yeah, I saw when you were talking about XYZ on Self-Care Sunday, that I had no clue were watching. People send me messages all the time and tell me they're proud of me and the things that I'm doing that I didn't know were watching. So know that the impact that you're making goes way beyond you. And even sometimes I get phone calls from people that I've known for a long, long time. You've heard me mention my friend Chris before. He called me one day and just blew my mind, telling me how I impacted his life since kindergarten, how I encouraged him seeing me win awards and do well in school, encouraged him to do better, to stay out of trouble, and how that changed the trajectory of his course in education and life. That's my homie. Like, we've literally been friends for almost my whole life, since I was like 4 or 5 years old. And he's family. That's my brother. He calls me mama. But, conversations like that let you know that even when you don't think anybody's watching, somebody's watching. The way you live, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself is having an impact on somebody. The way you handle adversity, the way you chase your dreams, the way you go after things inspires somebody. I had a client tell me that, like, she was in tears one day. We were just talking and she was like, watching you do this and watching you build your business from scratch. And because she was a client at the agency I used to work for, and was like, if you leaving, I'm leaving too. I'm going with you. So she came into private practice with me when I started my business. And she was like, I don't want another therapist. I want you. And so she said, watching you build your business and work through the hard things and still show up when you were going through stuff, she said, that inspires me, a little Black girl, to know that I can do hard things and big things and that I can achieve my dreams. Like, that kind of stuff means more than any paycheck, any dollar amount, any award, accolade, to know that what I'm doing is making a difference. Like, yeah, I appreciate the paychecks and the money and all of those things, but to know that me flowing in my purpose is making an impact encourages me to dream even bigger, to go after even bigger things and even more crazy ideas. And, you know, even the mental health tour came about because I was having a conversation with my mentee, and we were talking about the needs of mental health needs in the African American community and the taboos and the stigmas and all of that. And he was like, you know, we should go on tour. I was like, why not? Let's do it. Just threw it out there again, out here just doing stuff. And I threw the idea out and roped in another friend of ours who actually encouraged him to reach out to me for help with his book. And so now we got a whole behavioral health collective, and we're planning a mental health tour. We got the first stop planned and have been received with excitement and such a great willingness to help and to host us and all of these things, you know. So it's truly been amazing to see just how God will give you the desires of your heart when they line up with his will, when they line up with his heart for you. If you're seeking the heart of the Father for the desires of your heart and what those should be, he can't do nothing but give it to you, because you have right motives, because your desire is in the right place, because you're dreaming big in the seeds that he planted in you. So if you've been afraid, if you've been struggling to take that leap of faith, I just came tonight to encourage you to jump, to go for it, to leap. You know, my little cousin is on Facebook, and he's in his sobriety walk, and I'm so proud of him because he hit his rock bottom and is now climbing back up. And I believe he's finally in the place where he is truly a broken and contrite heart and spirit before God, and now God can use him, and he's using his voice to glorify God and to step out and talk about, you know, where he was and the things that he's gone through and what God has done for him. Hey, May. And he posted his first reel the other day, and he sent it to me. He was like, did I do good? He said, this is my first time doing this. He said, I'm kind of nervous and I really don't know what I'm doing. And I encouraged him. I said, don't be shy about using the name of Jesus when you post. Don't be shy about making videos with your face and telling your story, because that's what people are going to connect to, your vulnerability, your honesty, your truth. I said, when they see you telling your story, that's going to encourage somebody else that's in that place. That's going to encourage somebody else that's been struggling. It's going to encourage the people that you were doing those things with to see you now clean and sober and living a totally different life, because they were once there with you. I said, so keep going. Leap. Don't be scared. Do it. Go for it. So guess what he did today? He posted another reel. And it's bolder. And he stepped out a little bit further. And I pray that he continues to do so. So again, I just came real quick to encourage you tonight to take that leap of faith. If you've been wavering, if you've been teeter-tottering and saying, oh, I feel like God is telling me to do this, or I have this idea, but I don't know how to get started or what to do, ask for help. Jump out there and do it. Don't hesitate. You may be sitting on a multi-million-dollar idea. You may be sitting on the next cure for an illness. You may be sitting on the answer to homelessness or poverty. But if you're too afraid to take that leap, nobody's ever going to benefit from it. So dream big and jump, leap. You ain't got to worry about no parachute, because if you're doing what God told you to do, he got you. You're not going to fall or fail. But that's all I got for y'all this evening. I'm finna give me some allergy medicine, because they whooping my tail right now. That's part of the reason why my eyes is little and puffed up. But but also because I'm ready to go to bed. But come back and self-care with me next Sunday. Next Sunday is, I believe, the last Sunday of the month. So it is your last opportunity to get in the drawing for that beautiful shower curtain from Pardon My Fro. And go over and check them out. They got some really nice things. It's a Black-owned business. Support folks that's taking those leaps of faith, because it's not easy to jump out and be an entrepreneur because you're really betting on yourself. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, is to truly believe in yourself and what God put in you, and know that it's worthy, and know that it's valuable, and that other people see the value in it. All right. So thank y'all for coming to kick it with me tonight. Stay tuned. There's some more good stuff coming. And also, I forgot, while I have y'all here, every Wednesday is Warfare Wednesday. It's my day to pray for you. So when y'all see that post pop up, put your prayer request in there. If you got something that you want me to agree with you for, if you want me to cover, if you want me to just pray, it can be specific, general, whatever. Put those requests out there. If you don't want to do it publicly, you can inbox me. But let me know how I can pray for you. All right? So y'all be blessed. Make some time for self-care this week. Dream big. Write the vision. Make it plain. And then put your faith and your works together and go for it. All right? Y'all have an amazing week. And I'm finna go lay down. I love y'all. Good night.